What's up, musicologists? Welcome to another episode of Amari Music Talk. I'm Richard Cole. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a longtime listener, welcome back. All right, so today what I want to talk about is the upcoming documentary. And no, it's not the Prince documentary. And where that documentary was one of my most anticipated of any music documentary of all time. And now because of the beef between Netflix and the Prince estate, it's kind of tarnished my excitement over that documentary. But there's a documentary that is coming on February 13th, and it is titled Sly Lives. And I'm going to pull this up here, the press release. So the title is Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius. This is directed by the one and only Questlove. I dug Summer of Soul so much. That's a brilliant documentary. If you haven't seen it, by all means, check that out as well. Oscar-winning documentary. So much hype and anticipation for actually probably one of my favorite groups of all time, Sly and the Family Stone. For Prince, if you tune into this channel for the Prince content, look, let's put it this way. Without Sly and the Family Stone, there's half of Prince's career is gone. Without Sly and the Family Stone, the Jackson 5 would have been wearing, shark skin suits still. The Power in their early records, without Sly and the Family Stone's influence, the Temptations would have no second half to their career and really probably would have been nothing without David Ruffin had it not been for Norman Whitfield dogging the heels of Sly and the Family Stone and hanging his ear off every single note that Sly and the Family Stone has played. Like I said, as a kid, just growing up hearing, thank you for letting me be myself again. Family Affair. That's kind of when I come in. A lot of the other stuff, Everyday People, Dance to the Music. I was like 2 when that was out, but coming into the 70s, 5, 6, 7 years old, tracks like Loose Booty, Crossword Puzzle, those amazing tracks, and a lot of self-destruction in Sly's career. And a lot of this is going to be covered in the documentary. So I'm going to kind of just read the press release from this. You can check out the trailer. I think that's as of this taping. This is late Saturday night. I think it probably dropped Friday, Thursday, or Friday. I know I was watching it several times Friday, but definitely check the trailer out. But I'm going to read the press release here. So Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius, examines the life and legacy of Sly and the Family Stone, the groundbreaking band led by the charismatic and enigmatic Sly Stone. The film captures the band's rise, reign, and subsequent fade out while shedding light on the unseen burden that comes with success for Black artists in America. The film features noticeable guests such as Andre 3000, D'Angelo, Shaka Khan, Q-Tip, Nile Rodgers, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, George Clinton, Ruth Copeland, and Clive Davis. Additional guests include those closest to Sly, including his band members, Jerry Martini, Greg Errico, Larry Graham, and Cynthia Robinson. Of course, side note, rest in peace, Cynthia Robinson. We lost her, I think, just a few years ago, recently. And also, I know these are his children here, family, Sylvette, Fun Robinson, Navina Carmel and Sylvester Stewart Jr., who offer the best insights into Sly's life by sharing anecdotes from their time together. All right, so I am, like I said, this has now become my most anticipated, what do you want to call it, documentary, period, music documentary. Um, this, to me, I think is going to be a very balanced production. I know that I think I was reading something somewhere where, Questlove was saying that, this isn't necessarily, kind of the paint by numbers type of a documentary, but it is going to be a sort of like a character study, I would think. And that's what I'm hoping for, is that it's going to be a character study as well as celebrate, going to celebrate the genius, going to celebrate the artistry, but also too, you got to address the downfall. You got to address, his struggles, his and even all of that to still be among us, that is a feat among itself. Probably one of another must have if you want to take a deep dive prior to checking out this documentary. You want to check out this book, and this is the autobiography by Sly Stone himself. This is published by Questlove's publishing company as well. And like I said, this is definitely a must read if you're a student of music. And I mean, not just Black music, because, Sly and the Family Stone was groundbreaking on a lot of levels. The first sort of fully integrated band, Black and white, male and female. You didn't have that dynamic in the 60s. If you had a band, it was predominantly, if you had a girls group, it was all girls. If, the number of not only rock bands, but, singing groups, there were always guys, in those groups. So like I said, if you had a girl group, it was a girl group. And the integration, that was rare. You could point to examples like Booker T and the MGs, but again, all male band, but that dynamic of Black and white. But, Sly and the Family Stone, not only did they elevate funk to the next level, they elevated pop to the next level. And, the thing about history is that, in hindsight, everything is laid out and spelled out and analyzed and put into various contexts for, if you're younger and you're kind of, you're exposed to whatever is unfolding for you already in real time, then you have this history. But for a lot of us, that history was what was unfolding in real time, the way events and everything is unfolding for you right now, for all of us right now. So if you think about the magnitude of Michael Jackson, if you think about the magnitude of Prince, Sly Stone on a lot of levels, that was that echelon, especially for those, 68, 69, 70, even going into 71, for that moment of time, Sly was unbeatable. And had it not been for the drugs, and it's like, that's a testament, because you do consider that a downfall in a way, but a lot of those albums were still dynamic. A lot of those albums were still interesting. Maybe holding it up to some of the early material, it's debatable, but there are a lot of people that don't even get to put out an album when you're dealing with that much struggle. It's like there's no more albums. And eventually that catches up. And again, like I said, a lot of that will be explored in the documentary. Again, with Sly's own words, there's a lot, that he doesn't hold back on. There's a lot of stuff that's upfront and blunt and honest. There's a lot of stuff that's like, hey, this is how I saw the situation. So I guess, again, a lot of people that tuned into this show, are Prince fans. And right now, there's this sort of debate. I don't say division, but debate on whether or not the Prince documentary should be released because of the sort of warts and all nature of telling someone's journey, and especially an artist's journey. Um, I mean, I do agree with the estate that they shouldn't include things like the autopsy. You can address Prince's passing, without having to show that stuff. I mean, yeah, granted, you could put the 911 calls in, leave that audio in or something like that. You could do some kind of montage, that while that's going on, then you see whether it's him in his prime or throughout his life, some kind of montage that shows us that that artist is no longer here. So I look at, and hence the title, AKA the burden of Black genius. You know, Granted, this type of fame, that whatever it's mutated into now in the 21st century, if you go back 100 years, starting with, I guess, I don't know who the first sort of pop icon superstar, whether it's you starting with Louis Armstrong and the struggles that he had to endure throughout his career. You look at a Bing Crosby, but even despite those two examples, you have starting really with Frank Sinatra, where there was sort of this, sort of mania, with the girls screaming and stuff. You got that mania. And then Elvis is a whole nother character study as well. And there's no, of course, now we kind of have these as sort of cautionary tales: Elvis, Michael Jackson, Prince, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, there's still no blueprint for this. And somebody like Sly Stone, there was no blueprint. I think now the music business should be sort of like the NBA. Your rookie season, there's a mandatory class. I forget, it's like 2 days or 4 days where, they sit you down and it's like, congratulations, you're in the NBA. You now have more money than you've possibly ever had to handle in your lifetime. And these some of the things you look out for. Now, whether they listen to the advice after the 4 days or learn anything after the 4 days and, do something productive with their money and things like that, or invest well, it's an individual choice. Everybody's situation ends up being different, but there's nothing like that in the industry, entertainment industry as a whole. There's nothing like that. And like I said, despite, the cautionary tales, when you have an industry, and two, with artists, where sometimes some of that struggle, some of that misery is a catalyst for the greatest art ever. At the same time, like I said, they're either going to exploit that and hang you out to dry, or they just hang you out to dry. So, there's no, like I said, no classes, no cautionary tales. There's, I don't know how much mentorship goes on in the entertainment industry, but that's one thing that I know Prince was sort of championing in, sort of the last 20, you know, from 2016 backwards 25 years, championing that ideology. And that a lot of that will get explored in future videos. But again, with Sly Stone, again, another cautionary tale, and blessing that he's still with us, despite all of those struggles. But imagine the music that we could have gotten had he not gone through a lot of those struggles. You talk about a vault, like Prince has a vault there, through all of that, he was, he's still recording music, and eventually a lot of that will probably come out one day. But time will tell. Time will tell. But and this documentary will be on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, or if you have a Disney Plus Hulu bundle, or the Disney Hulu Max bundle, you can check out the documentary there. Like I said, I'm hyped for this documentary. Can't wait to see it. Let me know your thoughts. Are you excited for this? Shout out your favorite Sly and the Family Stone album. And got some little knocking upstairs there. Don't know what's going on there, but all right, but we're gonna kind of end it right here for the moment. And like I said, shout out your favorite Sly and the Family Stone album. Shout out favorite Sly and the Family Stone song. Like I said, a few of mine. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Family Affair, the entire Fresh album, from his actual solo album, Crossword Puzzle, High on You. Like I said, we're going to cover a lot of that in future videos, but shout out your favorite. And if you're excited about this documentary. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a Patreon supporter, still have the promotion, 50% off all tiers, promo code 9B404. So sign up, because it's really about to blow up, and going to have a video explaining that probably the next week or two. So stay tuned. And until then, create your day, create your life. Peace.